What's up, everybody? Today
Hi.
we got a special little video for you.
We're going to be watching our web series, Panic.
Yeah, we're going to be watching it. We're going to be reacting to it. We're going to be talking about it.
Like a little director's commentary, but with video. Episode 1.
Episode
the first
1.
one. We shot this 3 years ago.
We shot this summer 2017.
My name is Sam, and I have anxiety.
I look so pale. Why do I look so pale?
Pause it.
Alright, we made it 9 seconds in.
You look completely different.
I do. This web series was a journey for Sam and for me.
So, yeah, when we shot this, Chris looked completely different. There was no crew. It was me.
This was his idea. I was just a part of it. Helped out the script a
for
bit.
For this episode, Chris was an actor. I wrote the script.
Yep. You showed me the script. I made a couple of tweaks, but other than that, I was pretty much just an actor.
And then I was like, yo, you want to act in this?
Why did I think that hair looked good?
Those are some classic zooms.
I remember early on, you kept telling me with the voiceover to be deadpan. Just like, there was no emotion.
You wanted to be, that's my dad right there.
Yeah,
you wanted to be a little more emotional during the voiceover.
Yeah.
Like a little more frantic. And I was like, no, it's better with the style if it's deadpan.
I think throughout the series, it got less deadpan.
Yeah. We're driving around.
We just drove around the campus at our college. It's the same parking lot.
If you pause it, you can see there's parked cars in there. You keep going. That clock is the clock in my bedroom.
Yeah.
That clock is not in the school.
Separate.
So we shot Chris looking up, and then we shot the same angle of the clock in my bedroom and cut it together. There's Olivia.
Olivia, first appearance.
Yeah. I like this.
She did really good for a simple.
I know. Like, that's a very
the
realistic
hardest lines of
hay.
dialogue are the hays, the highs, those are hard because it's like, what do you do?
How do I say a hey?
Yeah. And it's like you just saw this kid, but you think he's kind of cute. Say hey.
I imagine me asking around.
Do you want to go out?
Your voice sounds different too.
Oh yeah, I remember doing it on purpose for the voiceover, like talking slightly higher. But I think legitimately also, I just started talking lower throughout.
Just hit puberty, bro.
I hit second puberty, bro, you know? But so this moment here, I love this moment because it was probably you. You wrote that where it's like, I imagine me asking around. That's the first thing he thinks of. And
it's
that
weird
was
when
never
you think about
funny to me until we made like episode 7. I'm just rewatching the series like a year and a half later, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's the first. We didn't
also,
have
there's a cute little lens smudge right there. See that?
That's in episode 2 and episode 4. It's the most noticeable in 4. Because my camera had a little speck of dust
and we didn't see
inside the lens. It was there for years.
What was the original ending? Because pretty much the only thing Chris did with the script was fix the ending a little bit. I don't remember what the original ending was.
I don't remember what it was either. I just remember reading the script thinking it needs like a button, like a good funny laugh at the end. What if she actually...
Must not have been good. We don't remember it.
I mean, the original idea for Panic was he was going to be a hall monitor.
Yeah, fun fact, the original idea for Panic was he was a school hall monitor. And it was more of a mockumentary style, interviewing him, like doing hall monitor stuff.
So early on, were you like, I want to make a web series, 10 episodes, or was it more of just like, I want to do this funny thing, maybe I'll do it a couple times?
First it didn't, of course it didn't start 10 episodes. It started, I sort of knew if I were to end it, I wanted his narration to be him talking to the therapist.
Okay.
Either him talking to the therapist or writing in a diary or something where it's like, oh, he's like reminiscing or something.
That's the funny thing because I remember you had never really told me that, and I was writing probably episode 3 was around the time where I thought, yo, wait, what if like the finale we find out he's actually been talking to his therapist the whole time?
And then we both kind of
and you're like, yeah, that was my idea too, and I was like, there we go.
But I knew the music needed to be super important.
Gotcha. You didn't just pick a random song.
No.
Like, nah, it's got to be
because it needed to be drums. I wanted drums.
Why drums?
I don't know. I want to because it's more like anxious. It's like
it is.
It's like it would gear it up.
It's like different, and it works as like being simple. Like if you hear violins, or something.
It's too much.
And it's not even like drums, like boom, boom, boom. It's like bongo.
But it took a while because all of the drum stuff I could find was like the action. Where it's like, that doesn't really... It kind of makes it intense, but it doesn't work. I knew I wanted it to be funky. I kept using that word where it was like, oh, you could kind of like groove to it a little bit and everything like that.
After we did episode 1 was where I was like, yo, I really like the idea.
Yeah.
Like, I want to like I have ideas for more episodes. I have ideas for like, because my brain goes to what's the end game? How can it be an entire story? I want to take a journey. That's just where my brain goes. And so you never really were a fan of writing to begin with.
No, I like the directing and editing, and you liked writing. So it's like, all right, perfect. I don't need to write it. You write it. I'll do the shooting and everything. You write it. Done.
So why was it anxiety? What made you?
It's relatable. Because even I think the most.
Because you seem very calm and just like
relaxed.
You're
the more anxious. Out of us.
I embody Sam a lot. Of times.
Yeah, but even like me being more relaxed, I still get anxious a lot. And fun fact, when I was younger, I was a lot more anxious and everything. I would have to pee a lot.
There you go.
I'd have to pee a lot whenever I got anxious and nervous. So when I was writing that in the script, I was like, oh, that can be like a little thing. Also, with anxious, the ideas are sort of endless.
Pretty much. You can do Anxiety's endless. Anyone can relate to it.
This was a tougher episode to film.
Yeah, it was nighttime.
Because it was nighttime, and again, we don't have any lights. I love the cookie.
Everyone loves the cookie. Everyone always comments on that.
I love the cookie background. Yeah,
it's the cookie. And I remember, because this was the first episode that I wrote, I remember my first draft, I was writing and I felt like something was off. And I was like, what's off about this? And then when I sent it to you, you said, oh, it needs to be past tense. All of his voiceovers past tense. I was like, oh.
Which I think is where also I had the idea of the therapist or the diary.
Slowly after that, when I was paying attention to that being past tense, I was like, yo, it's past tense. He's probably talking to someone. Oh, what if it gets dark? And then he's with a therapist. I love how this entire episode was just me and you in your apartment at night, and I'm in my underwear the whole time.
Oh, there's my mom.
I'm trying to remember, because I think it was a question when episode 6 came around, should Kenna play the mom again? Because this is just going to be a fun cameo.
It was a fun cameo, and then we never thought, we were just never thinking this far ahead of, is the mom going to come back? And then we were like, oh, we need to introduce the parents. Oh, it's my mom. Should my mom play the mom? Should she like, do that? Mom but she was an actress. She did do that. So I was like, why not? And then she did a really good job.
And she killed it. Yeah. Honestly, she did everything that I pictured.
Okay.
Boom. So that
is the sunset. That shot was the first shot we did.
Yep.
It was at like 6 p.m. It was actually the sunset. And we shot all the other scenes after that.
So yeah, we had to do it in reverse order.
All of this is just out of that was so out of focus right there.
It was so fun to get to play someone who like expresses emotions and
because before then, I remember Chris would always really enjoy the scenes where he was confident.
On the inside, that's kind of how I feel at all times. Just, oh God, I hope I don't screw up. That's just how I feel. But then I am also loud and wacky at times. And so it's fun to just embrace that. Whether it's super coked up on Red Bull or drunk off your mind in the party. It's just fun to be like that.
It's fun.
You know? That hurt my shoulder.
That was Daniel. Daniel was a throwaway character.
That was a throwaway character.
Our friend Ben, who we love. We needed extras for the back. We just got classmates.
Yep.
Then it just kind of, let's just grow his character a little bit, and then that's what kind of grew.
Yeah. And Olivia is also, she's not a student at the school. She's someone we cast her. Yeah, we cast her.
That's funny.
That fall is sped up, by the way.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't have like a pad or anything.
No, so we put books.
And it's like, that's not soft.
Yeah, so we took books and did that, and then he kind of just went, and then we just sped it up. We're on to 3.
Episode 2, nice and easy.
2 is nice, easy, and short.
3?
I love episode 3.
I love episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3, first one I edited.
Yes, I was out of town back when we used to want to come out with every episode a month. Yeah, we used to. What was it? Did we used to come out with every episode a month or every 2 months?
I think it was supposed to be like 2 weeks very early on, and then it was like, all right, every month.
And then
it was like, all right, like every 2 months.
It gets tricky because we're full-time students. We got full-time jobs. We make all of these episodes as they come, write them, cast them, do all of that.
The episodes got more complicated, longer.
But this was the first, we still had our month thing, and I was going out of town, so I was like, oh, Chris, edit it. Here we go.
And we upped the ante with this one big time because we use a completely different camera.
This was the fun fact.
This was like an actual production.
This was the first time, and you could probably tell, that we had a crew.
Yep.
Not a crew.
Keaton's not holding the camera this time.
We didn't have a crew. We had an extra person.
But,
We just had Raymond behind the camera.
Raymond.
It was a nice camera. We still don't have great sound. We're using an H5.
Yeah, so we're using an H5.
And I'm holding it a lot of the time.
Yeah, you were the sound guy.
But this is the first time it looks really good.
Yes, yeah, we have that. We had extras, like actual extras, not just like students, but like we.
This
like,
was the first time I was
people.
like, oh, this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to like go all out.
And it was like we need a location because before this was just your apartment and our school. This time it was like we need to get a restaurant.
need a
What do we do? So we dressed up the school cafeteria and asked permission to use the cafeteria. This was the first time we actually like went to someone and went.
Yeah,
hey,
we went to the we were
we're
like, all right,
gonna
we can't
film
just
here.
go in. So we go to the teacher. We go to Dave Kellogg.
Shout out.
And we were like, yo, what if we use the cafeteria as our restaurant? So we
Dress
shot
it
it
up.
at nighttime where all of the windows were dark.
Yep.
And then we went to the 99-cent store.
got,
And
like, tablecloths.
we got tablecloths and all of that fake
All the
candles.
dishes are my
everything
dishes.
is just 99-cent store or our stuff. So
Yeah.
the budget is still like not over $50.
This first scene is one of my favorite scenes in all
I
of
love
Panic.
this scene.
I love
And
this
it doesn't
scene.
start with My Name is Sam. Because
It doesn't. Yeah, because the first two episodes just started with it, but then once this episode happened,
we knew. We were like, all right, this is a big episode as well. So it's like,
Yep.
all right, we needed to be different.
This was the first time I actually felt legit anxiety filming, I think, Panic.
Whenever we're filming, Chris gets very nervous the morning of, right?
I wake up with a stomach ache. If I wake up with a stomach ache, that means I'm filming something.
Yeah.
My journey with Sam is that early on, I always just saw Sam as like, a wacky anxiety version. But once we were entering, the middle of the series here was where I was starting to like feel like, wait, no, this is like easy to write. And I kind of like, I remember we would talk about it. We would talk about like the way we have anxiety or whatnot. And that's where I started finding out like, I experience a lot of things differently than you.
Yeah.
And differently than most people. Like the waking up with a stomach ache.
Yeah.
And I was not in a good place when we were shooting this, like mentally, and I was just really frustrated with a lot of aspects of my life. And I remember I knew that Sam was going to go on a journey where he would grow up and his appearance would change. His hair was going to be cut in this episode, and everyone had always been yelling at me to cut my hair, and I, for some reason, liked my hair long and curly like that. But episode 3, my plan was I want to cut my hair for this. I wanted to actually like.
We actually
commit.
didn't cut your hair though.
We couldn't. I don't know why. We just couldn't for some reason.
So we had Ben's girlfriend, help do makeup on this episode, and she styled Chris's hair to look a little different. And he had like little ties in his hair that you can't tell.
Oh yeah,
and
because I had
everything
so
like
much
that.
hair.
Yeah,
that was weird because I hate stuff on me, makeup, stuff in my hair. I hate that. So like the whole episode, I was just uncomfortable to begin with that. So it was easy to be anxiety. So I had like a little motif that I wanted to do with the series. That is there technically. Yeah. That finger just keeps getting messed up in the series. You have him cut it, and there's a little Band-Aid on it. Episode 5, it's not very noticeable, but he ends up cutting his hand when he smashes a glass bottle, and he ends up with bandages all over it, including that finger. And then episode 8, he rips the hand and rips open the same finger.
That finger cannot catch a break.
Some fake
flowers. So that's 99-cent store plastic tablecloth, but you can't really tell. Fake candles, fake flowers.
That was it. Never mind. Nope. So I thought that was the first time it was present. The opening. That's the first time the narration is ever present tense.
Oh yeah.
There we go. We did it.
The people in the background are Ben, and Ben is in the background.
Yep.
And then Olivia's family friends are the other extras here. So we still haven't cast anyone.
I remember writing this episode was like, it was like, I just thought of everything that I would experience.
What would Chris do on a date?
What would I do on a date? This is not too far off. I do a better job of hiding it, but I've been thinking all this.
There, Ben.
There we go. He left and now he's back.
Ben left and now he's back right there.
It's a little stale.
Stale? Do you want me to get a new one? I can ask.
Oh, no, it's fine.
So we actually had an entire bit that we filmed where he goes up and he's about to reach the manager, but then slowly realizes he can't do it and then goes to the bathroom. It didn't look good. We didn't have someone to even play the manager, so we just cut it out and it was just quick cut to the bathroom.
Done.
That food was not good.
Yeah, I think at the 99-cent
From a
store,
can.
we just at the 99-cent store it was like, oh, that looks like what we want. Let's just get it. We got that. We got frozen peas, and we just piled the frozen peas on it.
And we I put it in the bowls. I heated them up, but we would then shoot eating them an hour and a half later, so they're not warm anymore. And mine was on purpose cold, so that way I would get sick. The peas are my mom. My mom hates peas. She grew up hating peas. She can always recognize if there's a pea in anything. I don't really care about
Get
peas.
That pea out of here.
Broccoli, though, game over. Can't eat it. I almost threw up during shooting this bit because the food was cold and it was nasty and it was just sitting in my mouth for a really long time and I almost threw up. I didn't like that.
Ew, I hate peas.
The things I do for panic.
You wrote it.
I didn't write that I had to eat cold, disgusting,
You were half the reason you did that.
Because I wanted to heat it up. You're like, no, just keep it cold.
It worked. I'm a method director.
You're a method.
You keep it cold.
I was going to edit this bit, just go on cut, 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 cut. And that was my one complaint about this episode is it is almost just reverse shot the whole time, which frustrated me. I wish we had done more, but we didn't have enough time or resources. But this shot, because we did a wide, it was just rarely ever used. But in this, I thought, all right, I don't want it to just be back and forth. And it is kind of this moment where they're actually connecting for once. What if it's so wide, but it's like slowly zooming in, maybe get that candle, brighten up a bit, little stuff like that.
And then one thing I just forgot about is we were trying to figure out what story Lily should say. And back when I was younger in elementary school, we took a field trip to a very nice, expensive museum. And my friend was allergic to peanut butter. And they were giving away cookies. And he took a little cookie and he started eating it. And he was like, oh, this cookie's really good. Because he's never had peanut butter before. And I was like, yo, I think that cookie's peanut butter, bro. And he's like, I don't think so. And I was like, here it is. And then he vomited all over the museum.
That's how you get the story.
That's where it is, right there. I love how Olivia's character is walking to like a Mercedes-Benz. She's just driving her Mercedes-Benz away from the date.
Wait, that's what the car?
Yeah.
I never noticed that. This was nerve-wracking. Because essentially what this scene was me staring at her, just like, I like you. That was maybe my favorite acting I had done up to that point. That little ending, that tiny little smile.
That's a classic.
Little glimmer of
very
hope.
good scene.
Episode 4.
Fun fact, our least favorite episode. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad episode.
A lot of people actually really like it.
I think we just have some bad memories filming it.
We have bad memories, and I don't like the look of it. It's definitely a downgrade from episode 3, where things looked a lot better.
We tried to get Raymond to do the cinematography, and he couldn't do it, so we got someone else.
But we're using my camera again.
We cast those actors.
We did. I cut my hair, finally.
I love how he's pointing to the screen that nothing's on. And he has his windbreaker on and everything.
So that... You just told Daniel to show up.
Yeah. There was no script for him to read. I was like, all right, talk about schizophrenia. And he's like, schizophrenia?
Yeah. But like his outfit, we didn't tell him to wear anything.
No, we never told him to wear a specific outfit. He always came dressed in a goofy outfit. Okay, so fun fact. We shot all of this in one day. And then we were editing it. We were like, something's missing. We didn't get enough.
And also just in general, a lot of the shot of me giving my speech about anxiety just
wasn't fitting.
It didn't
fit. So basically, this is shot by the cinematographer. And then all of the shots that are front facing of you
right there
or side facing of you to the right like that is shot from me the next day. So we went
It wasn't
back.
the next day. It was a
week
month later. It was a really long time later, and you notice because my hair is way longer in these shots.
So we shot it. There's no class. There's nothing that he's talking to.
Yeah, I'm talking to no one that entire time there.
He just looks over at an inanimate object who's my dad.
But yeah, my hair is really long there and extra messy. And then when it cuts to... Boom.
Yeah, it's shorter here, yeah.
Look at that difference in the hair right there. This episode I remember also was like... I wanted it to be the last time pee is ever a problem. Because the peeing was funny early on, but then I was like, the series going to get darker, the joke's going to get old. He needs to, like, overcome it. So this was the episode where he overcomes it by peeing.
There I am!
Yeah, first cameo.
There I am right there. Pre-beard. Okay, so want to talk about what's on your glasses right now?
It's water, Keaton. It's
happened?
water from the sky because it decided to rain when we were shooting the happy place scene. Rain ain't happy. Rain's sad. Doing this, getting up in front of class and talking was also anxiety-inducing. Even though I know I'm acting and that no one cares, just the idea of getting up. All right, how do we do that, Keaton?
We had a plastic Ziploc bag filled with water in it. And then you took off your pants. And we put the bag right there. Not us, but...
I did.
And you put your pants back on. And...
I had a little thumbtack.
You had a little thumbtack.
I just had my hand. I went... And then
you
took it out.
Took it out.
3, 2, 1, action.
And then it just slowly went down.
It took a couple tries, but then once it finally worked, where the water actually came out,
it looked really good.
And the funny thing was, it felt so weird doing it because I just an entire bag of water just seeped out in my pants, and I didn't know what it looked like. I'm just acting, just going for it. I'm just like, I hope it looks good. I just remember while we were doing that take, you're behind the camera, like, just like giggling yourself, like
that
everyone was
so
giggling.
Funny.
The clap.
This was the first final scene that we tried to do dramatically, really.
Episode 3 sorta got
But this
there,
was like the
but
pure
this was like,
drama.
all right, like Sam and I wanted to cry during this scene, but we just you know, it just wouldn't get there.
Because it was the first time we tried to do it.
Yeah.
It just didn't work as well as we wanted it to. We weren't as good as writing and filmmaking as we are now.
My big problem, because I never cried on camera before, and I've been an actor for a very long time, but I just have never gotten to cry, and it's hard for me to do that, and I wanted to for this. And I remember telling you, like, I need to, like, have time, like, this needs to be, like, a big scene. We were on such a time crunch with this episode.
Yeah.
This was the first scene we shot, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And we just had to shoot it very quick.
Remember,
and I was like,
we were in a public, or we were in the restroom, and we're shooting it in a stall.
we tried to shoot this in a different bathroom at first.
We tried to shoot it in a different bathroom, and Chris is in a stall doing this, and I'm there with the camera.
And we have
a girl as the sound person,
Yeah.
so she's there in the men's restroom, and
people would just barge in because it's a public bathroom.
Everyone would barge in and then go away.
They'd be like,
but then there
oh,
was
and then
one
like,
guy.
There's one guy who's like 40.
committed.
He walked in, saw us, went right to the urinal and went to do his business.
And then
he
we were
did
like,
care.
all right, we have to go.
Yeah,
so then
we're
that
like-
put us on a time crunch because it's like, oh my god, we already filmed that there. We got to kind of rush and film it all again. And
Every episode essentially ends with Sam failing to achieve his goal. Episode 1, he wants to get to the class on time and then wants to be cool in front of this girl, fails, leaves. Episode 2, he wants to stay awake, collapses. Episode 3, he wants to kiss the girl, you know, be with her and be cool, but instead it like twists around. This one, he wants to overcome his anxiety. He pees his pants.
but he actually acknowledges it this time, sort of.
Yeah, this is the first time where he's just like, no matter what I do, it's always there. And that's where, honestly, that was a big part of writing this episode where I was like, no, that's like the lesson that he needs to learn, because I think I didn't really understand anxiety before making this series. Yeah. I just kind of understood as just like, oh, I'm just a nervous person. But then the more I researched, the more I kind of looked into it, it was like, no, actually, like, certain aspects of this are different. And it's like, it's something that you can't control.
Yeah. That's a good, I like that ending. That's a good ending.
It's a good ending. It's a good ending. I actually... I'm a cheeky guy. I colored my skin to look more red at the end to make it look like I was...
Well, this is the first
there we
of
go.
us reacting and commentating.
That's Panic episodes 1 through 4. You've learned a lot, learning more about the series, learning the journey that we went on.
So let us know in the comments sort of what you think. If you have any more questions you sort of want us to answer, or if you picked up on anything that we didn't.
We can talk about it.
You know, there we go.
Here we go. Thank you for watching.
You guys stay frosty.
See you in the next one.